Hi everyone, my name's Shane and I'm going to be hosting today's meeting. And we're going to wait 2 more minutes for the latecomers. So if you would just sit and relax and hold tight for 2 more minutes. In the meantime, actually, I would like to mention who sponsored today's wonderful class. And that is Ronnie Mandelker. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I do not mean anything by that. And so today's class is going to be how to use Google Docs, and that's very important in your daily life because people might send you files and they might send it to your drive, which you'll learn what that is, and many things like that, which is absolutely great to know about. And we have classes like this every week, and not every week, sorry, my apologies. Every month we have around 1 to 2 classes, and they differ every single month. So it could be about like 1 week we had transportation that went amazing because it taught people how to get from place to place without only relying on the city's modes of transportation. So yes, that was amazing. And there's many opportunities also to sponsor classes. For instance, like another week we had someone else, and it really means a lot to us because we're a nonprofit organization, so we don't get any types of like compensation for any of these types of classes, and it just really helps keeps like the program going for everyone to be able to participate in these classes. So now it's 11:32, and if you please go to the next slide, we'll start the class. Okay. So as I mentioned before, regarding sponsoring, today Ronnie Mandelker sponsored today's class. And if you would like to sponsor an upcoming class, you can email info@mittlerseniortech.com. And it's really appreciated by us because, again, as I mentioned before, we're a nonprofit organization. We don't make any money from these classes, and the money helps us make these classes for you. And it's great because, especially if you're really enjoying these classes and you want to show some sort of like if you're like really appreciative of these classes, it's really helpful, honestly. So if you could please do that, that would be great. So, our mission statement is it's the responsibility of the younger generation to educate seniors about technology. The goal of Mittler Senior Technology is to cure the issue of social isolation within senior communities and to help seniors feel connected with our new world of technology. Our personalized classes strive to educate seniors on how to communicate with friends and family in the manner in which the world is accustomed to today, and how to use technological tools to enhance and simplify their daily lives, changing the world one senior at a time. So over the course of these years that we've all been doing these classes, we've taught 3,000 seniors and more. So it's really great because our classes, since they're online most of the time, can reach so many different countries and so many different time zones and with so many different types of people and so many different people in general that we've been able to reach 10 different countries as of now, and we've taught over 400 classes. So there's different types of classes that we do offer. These classes do cost money, unlike the one that you're on right now, which is free. And it's for people that really want to get to know computers much better and be able to explore the different uses of computers and learn how to use them in their daily lives. So the first thing we have is the computer basics class, which is a 10-lesson course. Its reduced price is $7.50 a class, and it's recorded professionally in the studio, taught by Jordan Mittler himself, which is amazing because it's so high quality, unlike these classes, which are more tend to be like relaxed and like more friendly, and you can't necessarily in the middle of the class pause the class and go back. You would have to wait till after the class if you don't understand something. But these classes are pre-recorded, so you can stop, go back, and watch whatever you want over again. And also, you can sign up at Mittler Senior Technology.technology/basics class, which is great. So if you feel that you already know the basics class or you already took the basics class, which many people have, you could go to our advanced computers class. And it's also a 10 lesson course, which is great. It's the next level of technology skills. And in my opinion, it's really more about, like, let's say you want to be able to organize your computer much nicer instead of having everything all over the place, which is a problem I face every day as well. Sometimes I can't find my files, which is hard because then I have to redo it for school, and that's not fun, right? So this is great because it allows you to keep, let's say you have doctor's notes. That's great as well because then you can keep them in a certain file and you'll learn how to do that. So the reduced price is $10 a class. And again, just like the basics class, it is recorded in a studio and it's taught by Jordan Mittler himself. And you can sign up at the same place, just /advanced class. So if you want to sign up to any of our classes, you can go to mittlerseniortech.com. And if you have any questions or you want to sponsor, please email us at info@mittlerseniortech.com. So on today's agenda, we are doing an introduction to Google, and we're creating a Google account, an introduction to Google Drive and Docs, which is kind of what I explained earlier if you were here exactly at 11:30, and creating and using Google Docs and cool Google Docs tips. So Google is like a search engine, which I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with. And they also have like Gmail. We did a class in that during the summer if you were here. And they also have many other like types of ways to like communicate with people and like create certain documents and certain types of documents like presentations, which is absolutely amazing for work, for school, for having fun with your grandkids, stuff like that. So first thing you need to do is actually create a Google account, which we'll get to. And then we'll explain the different like types of organizational skills, the types of documents like on Google Docs, like what they are, and how to use them, as well as like cool Google Docs tips, which you might not necessarily know already if you know what Google Docs are. So now, give me 1 second. I'll pass it over to a teacher very soon. So first thing is introduction to Google, which David will explain, right?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm David Mahfar. I'm going to be giving you a little background to Google and how to set up an account. So Google is best known as a search engine. That's how it started out, and that's how most people know it. But today, Google provides many different services and tasks you could use, such as Google Drive, Google Classroom, and Google Meets, and many more. So to access all these things, you're first going to need to set up a Google and Gmail account. So you're going to go to your search web, your engine, and search up how to create a Google account. When you search that up, you could press the first link and this will pop up. So you put in your first name. So for me, it would just be David. Last name would be Mahfar. And then for my username, it could be anything I want. So it could be dmahfar, mahfar123. It could even be something like candle. It could be anything at gmail.com. And then our password, it should be something that you can remember. So when you do it, you should probably write down on a piece of paper, maybe take a picture or just have it somewhere so you don't forget. It needs to be 8 symbols or more so that no one else guesses it. And you'll type it 2 times so that Google knows that you remember it. Google Drive is kind of like the mother of it all. Google Drive is a free service from Google that allows you to store files online and access them anywhere using the cloud. So Google Drive is really where you'll find everything. Google Drive also gives you access to free web-based applications for creating documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and more. So like I said, for most things, you're going to be using Google Drive. It's really where you'll find everything. And then you'll go into little sections from Google Drive. So like I was saying before, these are the sections from Google Drives. These are the main ones. So there's Google Documents. This is for writing essays, letters, just any text-based file. So if I was writing, let's say, an essay for school, or I want to send a paragraph to my friend, I would write something on Google Docs, documents. I would just type in what I want to say. It's somewhere where you just write down what you want to say, and then you can send it to somebody. Spreadsheets is more for storing and organizing information. If you know what Microsoft Excel is, it's very similar to Microsoft Excel. This is where you can put a lot of information. If you know working with like some project, this is where you would do it on spreadsheets. And then there's Google Presentations. This is for creating slideshows, similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. Like right now, what's being shared, this is on Google Presentations. This is like if I want to present to like a class about something, I need to present to my teacher about something, I would compose something on Google Presentations. And then Google Forms, this is for collecting and organizing data. This probably, I would say, isn't used as much as the first three, but it is still necessary to know. And then there's drawings. This is just for creating simple vector graphics or diagrams. If I'm going to create anything, maybe I want to create a logo for my company or anything, this is where I would do it. Can you please? Yeah. So why use Google Drive? Google Drive is the most popular cloud storage services available today. If you've never used a cloud-based storage service like Google Drive before, you should please just take a moment to consider all the advantages that you get, like I've just said, all the different functions it has and different things you could use with it. And because files can be accessed from any computer with an internet connection, Drive eliminates the need to email or save a file to USB drive. And because Drive allows you to share files, working with others becomes much easier. And on top of all of this, it's free. I'm not gonna pass it to Nathan Hiltzik, who's gonna take over from there.
Hi guys, I'm Nathan Hiltzik, and I'll be discussing how to access Google Drive. So there's two really the easiest options, and I think the only options. So the first option we have is you're going to type in drive.google.com. And so Evan, if you want to screen share and demonstrate that for us real quick. So we're just going to type in google.drive. Okay, so as you can see, so I don't know if this is gonna work on everyone's if you type in like this, but so when you type in that and you press enter on your computer, on your phone, whatever it is, it's gonna bring you to Google Drive. So as you can see, Evan he's already signed in. So when you type that in, it's gonna bring you straight to the drive. Now the other option is, so if you see on the top right of your screen those 9 dots, you're gonna click on that. Everyone click on those 3, yeah, exactly right there. And if you click on that, there's gonna be multiple icons that pop up, and exactly, so you're gonna see the one that says Drive, and if you click on that, that is gonna then lead you to your Google Drive. So I'm gonna quickly press on that. Perfect. And so either you can use either option. It doesn't really matter which one. I think the 9 dots are more simple, but it's up to you. So if you want to go back to the slides, Evan. Okay, so now we're gonna start getting involved. How to actually we're gonna get it started with Google. So, first we're gonna go to our drive. So as we said, as we shown from before, and so if you click on the top left where it says New, if you click on that button, that's where you're gonna really get started. That's where you're gonna be able to create documents, your presentations, your slideshows, your sheets. That's where you're gonna really be able to get your Google Drive. That's where you're going to be able to put all these little documents and everything. So right when you click on it, as you can see, you have new folder, file upload, folder upload, all these different options. So the first one I'm going to be discussing about is new folder. So Evan, if you want to press on the new folder. So what the new folder is going to do is, so you can name it whatever you want. So we'll name it like Mittler Senior. And the reason why this new folder is really helpful is because it kind of like, it allows you to put all these documents or presentations or files all together, and you kind of like are able to like, you're able to like name it whatever you want. So let's say if I had all my math files or all my specific, like let's say if I wanted to organize it, it just helps you organize your Google Drive a little more. So as you can see, so here's where you're going to be able to identify and see where all your files and folders are. So as you can see, the one we just made is going to be Mittler Senior. It's going to be highlighted in blue, so it's easy for you to tell which one we just made. So if you want to click on that, if you want to click on it real quick. So as you can see, we don't have anything in it. We don't have anything actually in the folder, but it says you can drop files here or you can add things. And so Evan, if you want to add a file just to demonstrate that. So we're going to click on new, file upload. Exactly. And so I see it's loading and there. So what Evan just did was he just uploaded a file into this folder, and you're able to upload a lot of files, as many files as you want. But what you're going to want to usually do is you're going to want to put the files that are most similar to each other in the same one, so it doesn't get confusing. And so the next thing I'm going to be discussing about is where the shared with me is. So if you want to go to the left of the left, so exactly shared with me. So the really special thing about Google Drive is you're able to like work on the same documents, work on the same presentations, and you're able to work with other people. So as you can see here, so what you're able to do is you're able to work. So I will, so let's say, so Evan, you want to go into a quick doc right now, so we can demonstrate to them how you really share it with someone. So we'll click on this. And so if you're going to go to the top right of your screen where it says share, right there, that big, yeah, exactly right there. If you click on that, now, right when you create a doc, it's not going to be shared with anyone. You're going to be the only one able to view it. Now you're able to then allow other people to see it when you press on this. And so where it says add people and groups, you'll be able to select anyone's Gmail, and you'll be able to press done. And what that will initially do is you'll be able to let another person see what you're working on. They'll be able to work on it with you. And it's just a great way to connect with people over Google Drive. Another way you can do, which is a little more complex, is you can copy a link. And this is a little more complex because you'll have to email it to them or maybe text them. But we recommend just using this. You'll type in where add people and groups. You'll type in either their name or their Gmail, and you'll be able to send it to them there. Then we will be discussing about recents and trash. So, I mean, if you want to go back to the Google Drive. So the next thing you'll see recents. So if you want to press on recents, Evan, and right, perfect, right there. So what recents showing is, as it says in the word, it's showing what you've recently worked on. So it'll show you what you worked on in the past month, what you worked on today, and it's just an easier way to find what you've been working on like yesterday or the day before that. It's a good kind of way that Google Drive keeps your documents, another way that it keeps them more organized. Then the final thing we'll be discussing now is the trash. Now, the reason why trash is so after you delete your documents or your presentations, after you delete all these things, you'll have them in trash. Now, a helpful thing is that the things that you delete, let's say if you delete something by accident, which we all do, we'll all make that mistake. But what happens after you press delete is it'll go into this trash folder. Now, what you're able to do is it won't fully delete for another 30 days. So let's say you see that you're missing something, you might have deleted it. And so what you'll go to is you'll go to trash, and you're able to recover this item. This is just really helpful because let's say if you didn't mean to actually delete something, you're able to retrieve it, or you're able to delete something faster than you actually want to. So it's just a good way to view the things that you've deleted in the past month and to see if like you actually intended to delete it or not. And the next thing I want to be discussing is search and drive. So this is really helpful because instead of having to look for something you viewed like in the past month or maybe even a year ago, and you want to search that up, it might be hard to find. So you're able to press search and drive, and you're able to look up, let's say if the document was called like something like Tech Tip Tuesday, or let's say if you want to look at a Tech Tips Tuesday that you did a while back, you'll be able to search it up and be able to find something that you did a while back. And this is another way to like easily access. So exactly. So let's say if we saw something that was that was occurred in like 2021. That was like a year ago, but we're able to find it due to this feature. And it's just really helpful to look for things. Maybe if your Google Drive, like as mine's not even that organized, but let's say if I remember something to pass that I want to relocate, you'll be able to look it up. And it's just an easier way to find and figure out your way around Google. And yeah, it's a great way to keep your things organized and to relocate things that you've lost in the past.
Okay, so now I'm going to pass it over to Maya, which will be explaining creating and using Google Docs.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Puterman, and I'm really excited to be teaching you about Google Docs today. So the first thing before I start is I'm going to teach you how to get onto Google Docs. So as Nathan was explaining, there's 2 different ways to get onto Google Docs. You can either get on through the 9 dots or you can search it on the browser. So I'm going to show you both ways so you can know 2 different ways and you can pick which way is best for you. So the first way we're going to do is we're going to search the website for Google Docs. So you're going to open a browser and you're going to search docs.google.com. And then you'll be taken to Google Docs. But another way you can do it is if you go to, again, Google, and then you go in the top right corner of your screen, you're going to see 9 dots and you're going to click on it. And that's where you can see all of your Google apps. And you can scroll down. And then you'll be able to see the Google Docs symbol and you can click on that too. Right there, yeah. So you can pick either way and that's how you get onto Google Docs. So what is Google Docs? Google Docs, if you've heard of Microsoft, it's kind of similar to Microsoft, but there's a few main differences. Google Docs is free and it's online, so you don't need to have to download any software on your computer. You can just create a Google account and immediately start writing things down. And another great thing is that because it's online, you can access it anywhere. So you can be in another country, you can be anywhere you want, and you can access your Google Doc. And another thing is that it saves automatically. So unlike Microsoft, where you used to have to push the save button, Google Docs will save automatically. So Google Docs saves automatically, it's online, and it's free. And what is Google Docs? It's a word processor. So you can just write down any information you have. If you have an essay to write, if you want to keep track of your to-do list or any document, you can paste. It's just a word processor. So you can keep documents and text. And it's like, unlike having a document on your computer, you can have it anywhere you want. So you can access it anywhere. So I'm going to show you how to create a Google Doc and just to get to know Google Docs. So if you see on the top of the screen, it says start a new document. There's an option to either pick a template, which Google provides you with. So let's say you wanted to make a resume or write a letter or a lesson plan. Google already has those options there for you. So those templates. But you can also create your own document from scratch. So with no text in it. And to do that, you're going to see there's this says blank and there's this plus button that's red, yellow, green, and blue. And you're going to click on that to create a new document. So this is going to be an empty document. And the first thing I like to do when I start a document is I like to give it a title. So if you look at the top left corner of your screen, you're going to see it says untitled document. Google Docs automatically says untitled document. So you have to give it a title. So we're going to double click on that and we're going to call it My First Google Doc. And then we're going to click enter and it's going to save our title. So I'm going to be walking you through some of the things that you can do in Google Doc. The first thing you can do is you can just start typing and you'll see a cursor, the line that's blinking, that's your cursor, and that tells you where you are. So we're going to say, hi, my name is Maya. And today I'm going to teach you how to use Google Doc. So you can type anything you want. So he's right now typing and you can see the line is following the screen. So whenever you type, you can see the line and that tells you, the cursor tells you where you are. So one of the things we can do is we can highlight everything. If we select it with our mouse, we can select all the text and we can change the font. So let's say if we want, instead of Arial, we want Times New Roman, we can click on the Arial and scroll all the way down. There's many different options we can pick from. but we can pick whatever font we want. So for example, I'm going to pick Times New Roman, and we can click on that, Times New Roman, and we can change our font. So that's really cool. It's very easy to change your font. Another thing we can do is change the size. We can make it bigger or smaller. So if you look at the very top of your screen, right next to the Times New Roman, it says increase or decrease your font. And let's say we want to make it bigger so that everyone can read it. We can click on the plus button as many times as we want. So we're going to make it like 20. Perfect. And we can also italicize the text. So now that it's all highlighted, we can click on the I and it'll be italic. And if we don't want it to be italic anymore, we can click it again. Click the same I button. There's also a U with a line under that, and that's underlined. So we can underline the text. And then we can also change the color of the text. So right next to it, there's an A with a little black bar under it, and you can pick the color of your text. So if you click on that, let's make it blue. And we can make it also darker blue. Yeah, perfect. And we can also highlight our text. So right next to the A button, there's the highlighter. Let's highlight it yellow. So these are just some of the basic things that you can do to start off with Google Doc. And I'm going to teach you a little bit more and some tips now of how to use Google Docs for more specific things. So another thing we can do is, let's say you want to give a title to your document. On the top of your screen, there's a bar and it says normal text right next to Times New Roman. And that's right now it's being circled in red. And that's how you can change the size of your font. So if you want it to be like size like a title or a subtitle or a heading. So right now we made it a title, but we can also make it into a subheading. And this is just changing the size of your text for you, a subtitle. So it's making it smaller or bigger for you. So instead of you having to do it yourself with the increase or decrease button, Google Docs can do it for you if you just click what type of title you want. So if you want like heading, a subtitle. And another thing I'm going to teach you how to do is you can link text. You can send in your document, you can link it to another website. So for example, let's highlight Google Docs in our text. Right? And then we can, if you look on top in the bar, right next to the highlighting icon is this insert link icon, which we're on right now. And that's how you're going to insert a link. So the cool thing about inserting a link is that if someone's on your Google Doc and they push it, it'll take them to another website. So people can go to another website. So we're going to put, for the link, we're going to put docs.google.com. And we click apply. So now we can try clicking on the link and it will take the person, whoever clicks it, to their Google Docs homepage. That's how the link works. And then it's going to open in a new tab. So if we want to go back to our document, we just go back to the tab before called My First Google Doc. And then another thing we can do is let's say we write another sentence, anything we want. Just say this is another sentence. And then, oh wait, okay, so also if let's say we had a spelling error, and let's say we spelled sentence with a C, Google Docs can also help us correct it. So if you go to tools on the top of your screen, right there, and there's spelling and grammar. So if you click on spelling and grammar, right on top, and you can click on spelling and grammar, you can click on the first option, and Google Docs will actually tell you what you've spelled wrong. So it's really helpful if you want to submit your document to someone, you just want to make sure that everything's spelled correctly. Google Docs, you can check your spelling in Google Docs, and you don't need to go elsewhere. Another thing that you can do with Google Docs is you can make a list. So let's say you want to keep your grocery list on your Google Docs, so you can access it anywhere, you can do that. So if you click enter, or like, let's just start over, let's write new text. And we can give it a title, we can call it shopping list. we can title, like change a normal text to title. And we can make that shopping list. And then we can click enter. And once we click enter, it won't be a title anymore. And we can, if you also look on the very top of your screen, there's 3 dots stacked on top of each other with a line. Right there, it's called bulleted list, and that's how you can make a list. So we can click on that and we can make a list. So if we want to keep our groceries shopping list on our computer, we can write down what we need to buy. So let's say we want to buy apples. We can buy bananas. And then just say carrots. So that's like, you can keep your list, your shopping list online on Google Docs using the bullet feature, and you can keep a list of what you need. And then we can also, if we highlight that all, we can also change the bullet points to numbers instead. So we can highlight the apples, bananas, and carrots, select it all, the text, and we can click on the numbers list. And instead of being a bullet point, it'll be a number. And we can also change like how our text is centered. So let's say instead of it being on the left, we want it to be in the center. If you look at the top of your screen, right after, like, there's 3 lines, there's lots of lines, and that's how you justify your text. You can align your text. On the bar after the fonts. Let me see if I can highlight it. Right over here, this is where you can align your text. So you can either do left align, center align, right align. So we're going to center it. We're going to click the center one, and now your list will be centered. Or we can click the left align again and go back. Also, another thing that Google Docs has is there's this undo button and redo button. So let's say we deleted something or we did something that we don't want to do. We can undo it. We can click the undo button and it'll be centered again, or we can click the redo button and it'll be justified. I mean, it'll be left centered again. And I'm going to also teach you that on Google Docs, you can also add pictures in. So we're just going to click insert. And there's the first option is an image. And you have 2 options. You can either upload one from your computer or you can search a picture on the web. So if you have something on your computer that you want on your Google Doc, you can do that. But I'm going to show you how you can find a picture on the web and add it to your Google Doc. So you're going to click search on the web. And then you can search a picture of a tree. And you can click that. And we'll just pick the first one that comes up. And we can insert the tree. And like that's how we get a picture of, that's how we can upload a picture from the web. So we can search for anything we want and we can click on it and we can upload it. We can also click on the picture that we just uploaded onto our document and we can make it smaller if we want. So there's blue outlines around it and you can click on the blue outline in a little box and make the image smaller if the image is too big. We can also make it bigger again. We can also, on the top of the picture, there's this little circle and that's how you rotate the picture. So we can turn the picture upside down if we want, or however much we want to turn it by, or sideways. And then we can also crop the image. So if you go to the top, there's right here, that's how you can crop the image. So if you think that you don't want the bottom of if you don't want the grass of the tree, you can crop it. So you can click on the crop image and then you can click on the edges on the border of the image and you can take out of the image however much you want. Perfect. And then you just click out of the picture and that's how you have your cropped image. You can also see how many, you can also, okay, we can delete this. We can continue writing under the image. We can write we don't need to write a list. We can write anything we want, like a paragraph or just random letters. You can type random letters. But yeah, we can write what the tree is, and we can also indent. So let's say we want some of our words to be more in the doc. We can indent using, I'm going to highlight it in blue. Right here, these are the indent functions. So you can either make your text go more in your doc, or you can have it not go in, but this is good for like writing a paragraph. If you want to put text and indent it, you can use the indent button. And then you can always click the undo button if you're unhappy with how it looks. And then you can also change how you're viewing your screen. So let's say right now this is too small for you and you want to see your Google document bigger for you. It's not changing it for other people, just for you. There's this 100% right over here. And you can change how big the screen is going to look. So we can change it to 75% if we want it to be smaller. Or we can change it to 100% or 200% if we want it to be bigger for us, so that we can see all the text more clearly. Yeah, 150, 200. So now it's very big. But the thing is that when it's bigger, you're not going to be able to see the full document at once. But if your document's bigger, it can help you see like smaller fonts. And then there's also a function where you can see how many words you're typing. So if you're filling out a form and you need a set amount of letters in your form, there's something called word count, which we can use. And word count can be found in the tools section on the top of the Google Doc bar. And you can click word count. And then it's telling you how many pages you have, how many words you have, the number of characters, and also you can see how many words you have as you're typing. So if you click on the display word count while typing, you can click OK, and then you'll be able to see how many words you have when you're typing and how many more you need, if you need like 100 words or depending on how many words you need. There's also if you go to the Insert tab, we can also add a table with information. So go to Insert, we can add a table, and we can pick however many boxes we want for the table. And we can click that, and then we can make a table with information. It's like a way to organize your information. You can put in a table or keep track of what you have to do or what you have to buy. Just for keeping track of information, you can create a table and you can pick how many boxes you want. And also, as David mentioned earlier, we can also put a drawing in our Google Doc and draw on our Google Doc. So if you go to Insert again, Insert is where you can put in all these other things into your docs. You can put in tables, drawings, charts. And so how you do a drawing is there's this drawing button here, and you can click New. And you can start typing or drawing. You can use the line. You can click the arrow or curve, and you can start drawing with your cursor. And yeah, you can draw whatever you want. And then another thing you can do is that you can use a shape that Google already has made. So you can use, I don't know, a circle if you want, a pre-made circle, or a smiley face. And this is helpful because if you have a text document and you also want to draw something on it, you can draw it digitally and have it on your Google Doc with you. And then we can change the color of it. So there's the paint bucket. And you can color it. We can make it yellow, a yellow smiley face. And so that's how you use the drawings. There's also an undo button as well here. So you can undo it or we can redo it. And we can even add text on our drawing. But the difference between the text you add on your drawing and the text you add on your document is that this text isn't going to be selectable. So it's going to be like text in a drawing. We can type whatever we want. We can type smile. And then we can also change the color of this text, and we can move it around. So this is also what's cool about drawing, is that you can move your text anywhere you want around your picture. You can move it to the top or to the bottom of the document, wherever you want. And you can select the text box, and you can, let's make it bold. And then let's highlight it on the top over here. You can highlight it and we can make it yellow. So that's how we would use drawings. And when we're done with our drawing, we can click on the top. There's this button, this blue button that says save and close. And that's how we can save it. And then I'm going to also just touch on something that Nathan mentioned earlier. Nathan mentioned earlier about how we can share a document. So another cool thing about Google Docs is that you can share with other people and you can collaborate and you can work on it at the same time as another person. So you can be, if you have a group project, you can both be working on Google Doc or seeing the Google Doc at the same time. So if you go to the top of your screen, there's this blue button that says share. And right now you see a lock because that means that it's only for you. It's private. So it's only we have it. But if you want to share it with someone else, you can add their name. You can add anyone's name. You can add my email, puterman@ramaz.org with 1 T. Perfect. And now you can click on the email. And then we can decide if we want them to be an editor, if we want them to just be a viewer or a commenter. So if I want Maya to be able to work on the document with me, I would make her an editor so she can type and delete things as well. Or I can make her a commenter and she can leave comments. Or I can make her a viewer and she'll just be able to see and she won't be able to do anything on the document. So I'm going to make her a viewer. And that means that she won't be able to see, she won't be able to type, she'll just be able to see what's going on. And I can leave her a message. I can say, hi, Maya, can you please look at this? And then when you share this with Maya in her email, she's going to receive an email and she'll be able to look at the doc and open the doc and see this message. And we click send. And then there's another way to share a document. So you can also share it with a link. So if you click share button again, now you don't see a lock anymore. You see people because that shows that there's more than one person on the doc. You can click on the bottom. It says copy link. And you can click that. So that's another way if you don't know the person's email, and you can send them the link or give them the link and then they can open it through the link. And then, so another thing you can do is that we learned previously with Drive that there's folders. So you can also put your document into a folder. So if you go to the top, right now let me see if I can circle that. If you go to the top, right here, you see this arrow document, and that's how you can keep your document into a folder. So Nathan previously made a folder and he called it Mittler Senior. So we can look at our folders, scroll through the folders right here. This is the one that Nathan made, Mittler Senior. And we can click the arrow. And then we can move it here and click the move here button. And that's how we're going to keep our doc organized in a folder. So you can do it directly from Docs. You don't even need to go to Drive to put in a folder. And then I'm also going to show you how you can find your docs I'm going to first show you how you can comment. So I previously mentioned that you can add someone onto your doc and they can only comment. So the way you comment is there's this button up here on the top of your screen, and that's what a comment looks like. So that's where all your comments will appear. So if you have text on your doc, for example, a green tree, on the bottom, there's text, and you can highlight the text. And then on the right of your screen, you're going to see 3 things, and then you can click the add a comment. There's a plus, and you can click add a comment, and then you can comment say nice tree or whatever you want to comment. And then you can comment that. And so when you comment, you're not changing the document. So the text is still being here. You can still see the text. But when someone clicks on the text, they'll be able to see what you wrote. So this is also helpful if you want like a suggestion on something, you can highlight it. And then if you share it with someone, you can leave a comment and say, I'm not sure, like, can you help me with this? And then they can look at that and change it for you. So that's how you use the comment feature. And I'm now going to show you how you can find your Google Doc in Drive. So if we go back to Chrome or to our web browser, and we go to Drive, My Drive, where Nathan was showing us before, our new doc will be in Drive. So we can search on the top for a doc. We can search in Drive. We can look at my first doc. We can search it up. My first Google Doc. And that's how we'll find our document in Google Drive. And we can also find it in the folder that it is. So we can go through our folders and Mittler Senior on the bottom. We can use Mittler Senior, and then we can click on that and we'll be able to find our document there because we put it in that folder. And those are like the basics of Google Docs. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, so now I'm going to take over with some announcements. So the first announcement is if you could please, the slides. So if you could please remain at the end of the Zoom for all the announcements, that would be greatly appreciated. And most importantly, we hope you all enjoyed today's class, which we worked very hard on explaining everything and making sure everything goes smoothly today. And of course, we thank all the team members that are involved today in today's class. And if you would like to rewind anything, go back and understand certain parts of this class, you're welcome to check out our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, please email info@mittlerseniortech.com. And we also have social media at Mittler Senior Tech, where we post different tips for like every single let's say little thing that, like, for instance, how to turn on your flashlight on your phone on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. They're called Tech Tip Tuesdays. And there's like small little things that we can't necessarily put inside a class because it doesn't fit or the topic is too small in general.
Okay, also, so I didn't realize, but someone sent me a question in the chat, so I'll just get that question. So Ronnie asked, what is the difference between Google and Microsoft Excel, and please define the cloud-based storage? So I think the main difference between Google, Google Drive and Google in general and Microsoft Excel is one, Google Drive, it has like, it's like the hub towards where everything else is. So with Microsoft Excel, there's not really a hub where you can find all the things. You kind of have to look up each thing like one by one. Well, if you look up in Google Drive, if you look it up and you go in your Drive, you can locate all these different, like you could look up Google Sheets, Google Presentation, Google Docs. And I just think Google like Drive is just easier to use. And I think it's just overall a better, it's a better way to write Google Docs and presentations. And then what a cloud-based storage is, it's pretty much like this made up thing that it's where all your documents and everything that you're writing down, it saves up into this thing in like the air, which is called the cloud. And it just saves all your documents and everything that you use into this one area. So you're able to show and you're able to like find them and they'll always save. So the next question I got was, does the document automatically save? So this is another really great attribute about Google Drive, is that everything that you do, it saves automatically, which is different from Microsoft, which is different from Microsoft, because after you let's say if like you make a Google Doc and then you like X out of it, you don't have to worry about saving anything. You just X out of it, it automatically saves. And then is there any other questions? You can raise your hand if you have any.
Okay, so moving forward. So the next slide, please.
We have a question.
Oh, we have a
Oh.
question? Okay. I did not receive the question. If someone would like to answer it, that's easy.
Dan, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, yes. My question is, Google Docs can be accessed from a Mac computer as well?
Yeah, any computer. It's online, so you don't need to download anything. So you can just have a website, like a search engine. You can search it on Safari, on Google. Any computer you have, you'll be able to access Google Docs, which is really great.
Okay, thanks.
Of course.
So to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the class, we have computer basics class, which is a basics class regarding like some easy skills that you would need to learn to, like, let's say, how to use your computer and stuff like that. And it's very important because it really gives you the fundamentals to understand and really use what we're teaching you in these courses. So it's a 10 lesson, go back. It's a 10 lesson course, and it's basically on computer and smartphone basics, very important again to know, and its reduced price is $7.50 per class. And it's recorded in a professional studio by Jordan Mittler himself, which is amazing because you get the real deal, or like the main creator of this whole program and initiative, which is amazing. He's a very sweet guy. And sign up is at mittlersenior.technology/basics class. And if you feel that you're more advanced than the basics class, you can sign up for an advanced computers class, which is also amazing because it really covers the next level of technology skills. And its reduced price is $10 per class. And again, it's recorded in a professional studio, and it's taught by Jordan Mittler himself. And the sign up is mittlersenior.technology/advanced class. And it's the same link basically, just behind the slash, it's advanced class or basics class. So another thing that I would like to mention is the class that you're on right now is called a free live class that we do 1 to 2 times a month. And it's like these special classes that are on certain topics, and they're very helpful for like day-to-day life mostly. And it's not just regarding, like, let's say, how to use your computer, it's more on like what you can do past that. And it's also taught by the members of the Mittler Senior Tech team. All of us are part of that team, and there's no registration or cost required. All are welcome. And we would love for people to sponsor our classes. It really helps because we are a nonprofit organization and we don't get any compensation for these classes. And if you would like the programs to keep, like, I don't know, like keep happening and everything like that, if you really enjoyed these classes, we are offering sponsorship opportunities for each of our live classes at $50, like $50 a class, which really helps us keep going and stuff like that. If you like the classes, we would greatly appreciate this. And if you're very dedicated to these programs, or you really rely on us, again, it would be very helpful.
Okay, so
So
also I just got another
yes, Nathan, go ahead.
question in the chat. So how do you delete a record or file from Google Docs? So Evan, do you want to quickly share the screen so we can just explain that real quick? So if you go here and you're gonna go to your regular drive, and so what you would do is, so Evan, go to my first Google Docs. So let's say if we want to delete that. Perfect. So what you would do is, I think you press on file, Evan. And you're able to press move to trash. And so what this is initially you doing is, this is just the way you delete your file, because after you say move to trash, will be then moved to your trash in the Google, in your Google Drive. And within 30 days, it will fully delete from your account. So that's how you delete a record or file from Docs. So is there any other questions?
Okay, so moving forward, our next live class. Okay. It will be announced shortly what the date and the topic will be. But if you would love, again, we actually would love if you would reach out and sponsor one of our classes at info@mittlerseniortech.com. And again, it's greatly appreciated if you do so. Next slide. Okay, so we offer a variety of types of classes. So first are group classes. So basically, we would come to your senior center or nursing home, or even community center in person or on Zoom, like this is on Zoom right now, to offer our world famous classes. And like basically, this is great because it like gives a sense of community and everyone's learning at one time. You can ask each other questions, you can almost quiz each other, and then you can like rely on each other to help move forward. It's like you have someone there always to help you in group classes, whether it be your peers or us teaching you. So the next thing is private lessons. So this is like one-on-one support in person or on Zoom with one of our team members. And we can answer all your questions and tech related questions as well. It really depends because like, for instance, let's say you like in school, you remember you worked better in a group setting, but it's like almost now you have a private tutor, which is great because you can get all your questions answered. You don't have to feel like, oh, like I don't want to ask this, it might sound dumb. You could always ask it. There's no dumb questions in technology. That is one of our sayings that we always say because technology can be confusing. I myself, I get confused as well. And sometimes I even find these classes helpful. They even teach me things I didn't know before. So as I mentioned before on our social media, we have Tech Tip Tuesdays. So basically, those are like small little like videos regarding certain things that we might not necessarily be able to teach on a full-on class. For instance, like turning on a flashlight on your phone or how to take a picture. That's like not like a 1 hour topic. That's more of like a 30-second to 3-minute topic. And you can join our email list and again, follow us on social media and receive free weekly clips on Tech Tip Tuesdays. And they all come out on Tuesday afternoons with useful smartphone tips. So again, thank you so much. And if you would like to sponsor a class, please email us at info@mittlerseniortech.com, or if any questions, that email is valid for that too. And if you would like to see any more information or sign up to any of our classes, please visit our website at mittlerseniortech.com. If we have a couple minutes remaining, we have 2 minutes. If someone would like to ask a question, we could totally answer that for you. Or if you would like to just share your thoughts on how this class went, please let us know as well. Okay, since no one seems to have any questions for a minute, I might as well talk about our recent Tech Tip Tuesdays, or what that is in general in our social media. So our social media platforms are very important because we announce our classes on there as well as our email list as well. So you could basically get all like the news regarding our program, and it's great because you can also share it with others, share it on your social media if you have social media. And from there you can tell your friends about it, and then your friends can come to our classes, and it's really helpful in general because you can create more of a community. Like we have some people on the Zoom that like have been with us for a while, and it's really always nice to see that, and it really puts a smile on everyone's face because they see what's going on, and then they feel that they have friends. A lot of people have made friends in these classes, which is great because we always love to have that sense of community in these classes and relaxed sort of like vibe or setting. That's really what separates this class from any other online class, which is just like someone like talking to you. With these classes, you can ask questions and be engaged. So again, I would like to thank everyone for attending, and I hope you have an amazing day and enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, that's it for this class. Thank you again.